Hey guys, Jano Zero. How you doing? I hope all is well in YouTube land, whatever part of the world that you are in. Okay, we're gonna do I have my early morning break going on here, getting the fire going. I'm going to start after the firewood pile. It's getting low. We got some really cold temperatures coming in, so y'all stay safe out there and stay warm. Holy crap. Need another sip of that. That's love that coffee in the morning, you know. It helps keep me going. Okay. This past week or so, I have not been very available as far as any kind of answering messages and comments. I've been doing the best I can, but I've been really busy. My old F-150 truck started dying on me. And we was working on that for a couple of weeks, trying to, keep it alive and keep it going, and changing little parts here and there, trying to keep it running. And it was just old and wore out, tired and dying. And I didn't know what I was going to do, because we don't have, it takes me several years to save up enough money to buy another vehicle. And this truck, I had bought it about 3 years ago, and I didn't have a whole lot of money saved up yet. We've been doing other things, and we had to replace a hot water heater last week. The old saying, when it rains, it pours. Well, it happens, and it happens all the time, and it happens to everybody. We all have them times when everything just comes down on us at once. So I, as much as I didn't want to, and as much as I resisted it, and as much as it scares the crap out of me, I had to take on some debt so that I could get a new truck, a different truck. It's not a new. I've never ever owned a brand new vehicle. But I went. I was in Ironton, a little town here close to me in southern Ohio, picking up some chains from the steel dealership in there, and I just so happened to see at a Chevrolet dealership of all places a really nice looking Ford pickup truck, and so I swung by over there and was looking at it, and the dealership is Bob Kleiss. They gave me this hat here, and they were really good dudes, man. They were good. It was cold and it was snowing that day, and Darren, one of the sales dudes, come out and was talking with me, and I don't really necessarily enjoy dealing with car dealers, and salesmen and stuff like that, because 90% of the time they play this game back and forth, and I don't like to play that game. I'm very much a straightforward, blunt and to the point kind of dude. I don't like beating around the bush. I don't like buttering things up, because it is what it is. And he come out and we were talking back and forth, small talk, and I told him, I said, well, this truck, I need to find a replacement truck, and I can't do very much because I don't have a whole lot, and I don't relish the thought of taking on any kind of debt. I said, but here's what I can do. I can trade you this truck and do this amount every month. And he said, well, okay, let's see what we can do. And so we went in and he was talking with the managers, and I figured he was going to come back with, this and go back and forth. And if that was going to happen, I would have just left. I don't like being treated like that. I'm a man of my word, and I expect to be treated like a man of my word. If I come in and I tell you this is what I can do, then that's what I can do, and that's all I'm going to do, because that's what I can do. So anyway, we didn't do that. They were really good. I mean, and here I am, I come in, I look like I come right out of the hills, because I do. I come in there, I'm dirty, we had just been messing with the pigs, and I smelled like a sack of dirty buttholes probably, and they brought me right into their office, and they treated me very well. They treated me like they would treat, any other customer who had lots of money and so on, and I really appreciated that. It made me feel like I had some worth, and it made me feel like a man, and I really appreciate that. So the dudes down there at Bob Kleiss Chevrolet dealership in Ironton, Ohio, kudos and thank you very much. We didn't come exactly to the deal that I wanted, but they came really close, and they did a very good job of working things out for me so that I could manage to get the truck that I got. Like I said, I'm not real happy about taking on debt. Credit is not a bad thing. In my opinion, like I said, I'm not an economicalologist dude or any of that kind of crap, right? I don't like taking on debt. Before I made the deal, before I decided that this is what I was going to do, excuse me, I came home I talked with the family about it. I talked with my children. My kids are old enough now and they're old enough and they're smart enough to understand what's going on, why we're doing what we're doing, and does it sound like it's a good idea or does it sound like it's a bad idea? And we talked about it for several hours because, spending that much money, and especially when you're taking out that much money and you're taking on debt in order to cover it, that's a big deal. That's a big decision. And I was nervous, and I still am nervous about putting our family, in a position to where if for some unforeseen reason, God forbid, that we can't make that payment, then we're going to be in a bad position, and I put us there, and that makes me nervous, and that scares me. Now, granted, with the way things are today, right now, we won't have any issues. We won't have any issues taking this debt on and getting it paid off. Because there's a lot of extra things we can do to make some extra money, and that's exactly what we're going to do. And we've decided that as a family. And I'm really thankful to my kids for their input. And I'm thankful to my roommate Mary for her input, and all my buddies that I talked with, Bill, and all my buddies, everybody that I talked with, and Brad at BC Truck, and Gravy, and Bev. I talked to everybody before I made this decision, just because it's a big decision. So anyway, enough rambling about that. I'll see. I think Mary may have put a picture of the truck on my Facebook page, the wall, or something like that. If you want to see the truck, it is a nice truck. It's the nicest thing that I have ever owned. As far as look, it looks fancy. It's not really all that fancy. It looks fancy. It's been really well kept and well taken care of. It was, they only had like 2 previous owners, and they were they were old dudes and they were country dudes, and they took really good care of the trucks, which is kind of what I do. I maintain them religiously to keep, to get longevity out of them. So anyway, if you want to see the truck, it's over there on the Facebook. Again, I apologize about not being any kind of attentive to Facebook and answering a whole bunch of comments. I've been crazy busy. I've been nervous and I've been stressed out over this debt. But now that has passed, and I've decided and I've prayed about it and I've made the decision, we're going to move forward, and we'll have the new truck. Don't get me wrong, the new truck is awesome. I love the new truck, and I'm happy to have it, and I'm thankful to have it, and I'm grateful to the dudes at the dealership there to have it worked out for me, and I'm grateful to God that had it all worked out for me. It's kind of ironic that I went to a Chevrolet dealership to trade Ford trucks, so I got a kick out of that. But anywho, so we're going to keep moving forward now. Like I said, credit is not a bad thing if if it's used properly for what it's intended for, in my opinion. And this is one of them situations to where I'm out of business if I don't have a truck. I can't haul firewood. I can't haul pigs. I can't haul all the animals that we sell and trade back and forth at the animal swaps and stuff in the flea markets. We can't do that if I don't have any way to haul them around, and I can't keep them all fed if I don't have any way to haul hay and feed and so on. So I had to have a truck. I got to have a truck, and it needs to be a four-wheel drive truck because we live out here in the hills, and every year for some reason winter comes along, and so it's got to be a four-wheel drive, and that was exactly what we needed, and we're comfortable with it. So anyway, that is my truck experience. The purchasing the truck, I was really dreading going to try to work with a dealership, but I guess the lesson that I learned was that not all car dealer dudes are the same. There are dudes out there who will take you at your word and take you at face value, and it is what it is. You say, okay, you say this is what you can do, this is what we will try to do. And they managed to get it done, and I really appreciate it, man. Darren and Tyler and John and Tom and even the owner himself, Bob Kleiss, came out and was talking to me like I mattered, and that made me feel good, and I'm really happy with them, and I will gladly wear their hat, even though they didn't have any coffee, but I will gladly wear their hat. That's going to be my hat from now on that I'm going to wear, and I highly recommend them. They were really awesome. It was a good experience, and I'm happy with it. A little nervous about the debt, but we're going to deal with that, and we're going to keep moving forward. So I guess in a nutshell, sometimes you have to do things that you don't like to do and that you aren't prepared to do, which is take on debt in my case, in order to accomplish the things that you need to get accomplished. So I'm not going to be down on myself about it because it was one of them things that I did what I had to do, and now we just work a little bit harder for the next year or so, and get this thing done and taken care of, and on its way and get back to normalcy. I think I feel kind of like a little bit of my freedom is gone now that I have some, that I have this debt now. I've always prided myself on being debt free and free from banks and so on. But now I can no longer say that, and I kind of feel a little funny about it, if that makes sense. So, but what do you do? It is what it is, and sometimes life happens. So, okay, guys. Well, that's our truck experience and our new trucks, and the reason that I did what I did, and I just kind of wanted to share it with everybody. If there's people out there who are in a position to where they're going to have to make a tough decision and maybe take on some debt or do something that they don't really want to do, but it's necessary. Sometimes you just gotta, the old saying, life can be a giant crap sandwich, and sometimes you just gotta take a big old bite, chew it up, and swallow it, no matter how bad it is. And this is one of them situations. So, you guys hang tough, stay safe, stay warm. It's going to get really, really cold. It's going to get dangerous cold in some areas. So please take care and keep that in mind and be safe. And thanks for watching. God bless. In the end. Buzz, buzz, the end.